This is a message for all the Kyles and Naruto runners who are looking to break into Area 51 this September. Don't do it. It's not going to end well. In fact,
gonna have a bad time.
What happens if you try to break into Area 51? What consequences can happen? How bad could it really be? Well, let's talk about it. Hello again, everybody. Sean Martin, attorney at law. I'm an Ohio licensed attorney, and today we're going to talk about everybody who wants to go to Area 51, because they can't stop us all, right? Today we're going to talk about what happens if you try to break into Area 51. Well, what could happen? Well, there's two options. Option A, you get arrested. Option B, you die. Now let's go to the first option, getting arrested. Well, how do we know you'll get arrested? Well, let's take a look at the signs. This first sign you can see mentions Nevada Revised Statutes 207.200, and that is criminal trespassing. You're not allowed to be there, and you ignore the signs and you trespassed anyway. Well, even though it's federal land, you're doing it within the state of Nevada, so they can prosecute you for it. In that case, you face up to 6 months in jail and or a $1,000 fine. Well, that doesn't seem so bad, does it? Not too bad. Well, let's look at federally what you could get charged with. As you can see under Title 50 of the United States Code, Section 797, whoever violates any defense, property, security regulation shall be fined under Title 18 and not imprisoned for more than 1 year, or both. That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, if you get to see an alien and you have to go sit in prison for a year, I mean, that's almost worth it, isn't it? Well, let's see. What does that mean for a fine? Well, you have to look at other parts of the United States Code for that. And that fine is not a good fine once you actually look it up. In fact, it could be up to $100,000. Now, do I think the government would actually fine you $100,000? No. Let's say the federal courts fined you $10,000. That's still a lot of money. I know I'm not going to be able to pay a fine like that, and I doubt you can either. So once again, that should be enough to dissuade you from doing it. You could face a lot of legal trouble for it. The second of the options is that you die. Now, there's two parts to this. You could get killed by the desert if you try to go in there. And why do I say that? Because the closest point to Groom Lake, or Area 51, whichever you prefer to call it, is Tikaboo Peak, 26 miles away. That's 26 miles through some of the most inhospitable terrain in the United States. 26 miles through brutal desert. This isn't like a walk in the park. That's the length of a marathon. You'd have to go in the desert. Then finally, there's the government. They can kill you. Now, how do I know that they can kill you? Well, once again, we look at the signs. Use of deadly force is authorized. That's not a joke. It's a true threat. Now, how can they use that? Well, for example, the contractors would be authorized to use deadly force. Groom Lake is a military installation, and even though they aren't military personnel, they have the right to use deadly force from the Department of Defense. Now, just like anybody else, they have the right to protect themselves. They have the right to protect others. They also have to protect national security assets, which include nuclear weapons, or at a place like Area 51, laboratories, facilities, or any sort of aircraft or vehicles that are there, especially experimental aircraft, top secret aircraft, military aircraft. They have the right to defend those with lethal force. Many people have had encounters with the contractors, or otherwise known as the camo dudes in Area 51 lore. They are not very nice, and they aren't afraid to pull guns on you.
Use your hands. Use your hands. Put your hands up.
Put your fucking hands up. I'm not going to tell you again. Right. Turn around.
In addition to the camo dudes, you also have United States Air Force security personnel who will have M4 rifles, M249 machine guns, and M240 machine guns, along with helicopters. Maybe not the black kind, but helicopters. They're authorized to use deadly force as well. This is no joke. They can shoot you, and they can kill you. I really mean it when I say do not go there. Go hang out the front of the base, drink a keg of beer, listen to some trap music, do whatever you want. Don't cross the lines. They can stop you, and it won't be pleasant. Guys, I really mean this when I say this. Do not go there. You are not going to have a good result. At the very least, you get arrested. The very worst, you die. And I don't want to see anybody die. In fact, I don't want to see people get arrested. Now you got criminal charges. Now you got to deal with that. You might go to jail for a while. Now you got a criminal record. You don't want that. Don't try to get on the base. These people are very serious about what they do. Guys, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. All those things help me out. Comment or questions below. Are you going? Leave a comment. Let me know if you are. In the meantime, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.